So we're here driving the BAIC BJ20, BAIC's SUV out on the market. I know it's a China car, but you gotta hear me out. This car actually drives really good. BAIC as a company actually is a joint venture between them and Mercedes-Benz and Hyundai, which means that the technologies that these top brands get, BAIC gets them too. So the BAIC BJ20, it has this boxy exterior using more lines and curves, which gives it a very distinctive chiseled look, which in my opinion looks really good for an SUV. But I think one of the major highlights is that it has a 250mm ground clearance, which means when it comes to rough roads or bad roads, or let's say like if you're going through a flood, this can take up the challenge of getting through it. So remember when I mentioned that BAIC has a joint venture with Mercedes-Benz and Hyundai? It becomes pretty evident once you get inside the car. It has a very nice European interior. Starting out with the aircon vents, it has like the logo of BAIC as the vent, and it looks awesome in my opinion. But more than that, I like how everything flows really well. You have like the push start down here, very European, and this car even comes with electronic handbrake and brake hold, which I think is a nice addition. And the gauges here, they're really nice and monochromatic, keeping the design simple and elegant. Even this carbon fiber looking panels, it looks good. It's nothing tacky. Like, you can see that when BAIC put this car together, like they had a certain taste that they were going for, and I think they accomplished it pretty well. So right now we're driving the standard trim. On the luxury trim, you actually get the panoramic moonroof, you get a 10.1-inch touchscreen display, you get steering controls for like the volume and cruise control, and you get leather seats. But if you ask me, the standard trim is more than enough. One of the great things about the BJ20 is the way it drives. So for the past years, when we've tested the China cars, they usually get the stigma because of the way it drives. The way they usually drive before is that you always had to compensate its lack of something so that it drives, like it feels good. Or you look at the price tag and you tell yourself, okay, you know what? I'm paying this much anyway. I shouldn't be expecting much. The BJ20 isn't anything like that. This car actually drives really well. The steering is on the firm side and very responsive. So it really gives you the confidence of putting the car where you want it to be. The power delivery of this car is excellent as well. When you pair the 1.5-liter turbo gasoline engine with a CVT transmission, it really has the power when you need it or when you demand from it. I'm not trying to compensate anything with this car, you know? Like, it's a smooth drive. And even the cabin noise, the NVH levels in this car is impressive, especially at its price. So this car is starting. This is the underdog. This car is the underdog in its class because it doesn't have any heritage to back it up. As we're backing up. But being the underdog, it's really impressive to drive. It's intuitive. You don't have to compensate for anything. It drives well, it drives smooth, it has the power and more. That's enough to convince you to get the car. Like, if you're looking at cars in its price range, you get more out of this car. You have to test drive this car.